The Monkey and the Carpenter. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled at the edge of a dense forest, there lived a hard-working carpenter named Bimel. He was known for crafting beautiful furniture that people from neighboring villages admired and purchased. His workshop, a small shed near a large banyan tree, was filled with the rich scent of freshly cut wood, the hum of saws, and the rhythmic tap of his hammer. Bimel loved his work, but his one flaw was that he often left his tools unattended, even though the villagers frequently warned him about the mischievous monkeys living in the banyan tree. These monkeys were notorious for snatching fruits, pots, and anything shiny or interesting they could lay their hands on. One warm afternoon, as Bimel worked on a sturdy wooden bench, he felt tired and decided to take a short nap. He left the half-finished bench on the work table, with the sharp wedge inserted in a gap he was chiseling. As usual, his tools were scattered all over the workshop. From the banyan tree above, a curious monkey named Kiki had been observing Bimel all morning. Kiki was the leader of the troop and loved mimicking human actions. Seeing the carpenter leave his workshop unattended, Kiki couldn't resist the temptation. He swung down from the tree, his sharp eyes scanning the scene, and hopped onto the work table. Kiki grabbed the hammer first, tapping it on the wood and screeching with delight. Then he picked up a saw, pretending to cut imaginary pieces of wood. The other monkeys chattered in excitement, some even descending to watch Kiki's antics up close. Finally, Kiki's attention was drawn to the bench with the wedge. He had seen Bimel using it earlier and wanted to try it himself. Grinning mischievously, he climbed onto the bench and began tugging at the wedge. At first, the wedge wouldn't budge. Kiki pulled harder, using all his strength. Suddenly, the wedge popped out with a sharp crack. The two halves of the wood snapped shut, trapping Kiki's tail in the gap. The poor monkey let out a loud scream, startling the other monkeys, who scattered in fear. Kiki writhed and twisted, trying to free himself, but the more he struggled, the tighter the trap seemed to hold. Hearing the commotion, Bimel woke up and rushed to the workshop. At first, he was angry to see the mess the monkeys had made. But when he noticed Kiki trapped and wailing in pain, his heart softened. "Serves you right for meddling with my tools," Bimel muttered, though his voice was not unkind. He carefully approached the frightened monkey, who tried to bite him out of fear. Bimel spoke softly, calming Kiki down. Using his tools, he slowly pried the wood apart, freeing Kiki's tail. Once free, Kiki scampered up the banyan tree, clutching his injured tail. From a safe distance, he turned back to look at Bimel. The carpenter expected the monkey to flee, but instead, Kiki bowed his head slightly, as if thanking him, before disappearing into the leafy branches. After that day, Bimel noticed a change in the monkeys' behavior. They no longer raided his workshop or caused trouble. In fact, Kiki often sat on a branch, watching Bimel work, but he never touched the tools again. The villagers were amazed by the sudden peace and joked that Bimel had tamed the mischievous monkeys with his kindness. Bimel, however, smiled and said, "Sometimes, even the naughtiest creatures learn their lesson when treated with understanding." And so, the carpenter and the monkeys lived in harmony, proving that a little patience and compassion can turn even the most troublesome of foes into unlikely friends. Moral of the story: curiosity without caution can lead to trouble, but understanding and kindness can heal even the deepest rifts.